Welcome to the start of a new anime review series. This is the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. My 35th new anime I watched this year. I think 35. Wow, you're breaking a record here. I am. I am currently at this one roughly 10 more away from breaking my all-time record, which is basically in 2020, which was 45. That was my highest I did 1 year. Given the fact it's only August, there's a high probability of that. So, this show was this. We have a character named Rent. Yes, that is the guy's name. His name is pronounced Rent in the dub. Those of you thinking, wait, his name is pronounced this way. I'm going by how the English dub translates his name. His name is Rent Funa. By the way, I read the manga of this one and I read the light novel. So basically, he's a bronze level adventurer. He basically is kind of like second rank. Basically second from the bottom. And he's been stuck in that rank for 10 years. But he's a hard worker. Despite he describes himself as very weak. But a lot of people respect for him due to his hard work. I would think with the hard work they would promote him, but they haven't yet. He wants to become a mythical class, which apparently is a class you attain, they explain in the show, if you save a whole country. So basically, you see him after getting up, basically shows up with a flash forward him in a labyrinth, and you have this POV show, which was really cool. And I love the look of the labyrinth. It's done really well. It's like a tiny bit of CG, a little bit, but it's not like over the top with it. Mostly put in just the walls. Or a little bit of CG, look very realistic. I love the look of the labyrinth they have here. This is Moon Labyrinth, they call it. So, and then you have come across what he calls a dragon. Even though I look at this damn thing, I'm like, you are not a dragon. You are some other creature. I guess this type of thing is a dragon. And also, it's got 2 sets of teeth. Yes. And then it attacks him, and then we see where he wakes up as a skeleton. Flashback, there's apparently adventurers that low have to wake up early to start adventuring to get all the good jobs. So he goes to the Adventurers Guild, puts on his attire, and sees no friend of his to tell about monsters. This very beautiful woman. And her name is Lorraine. She's voiced by Corey Pratt. There's also a guild receptionist named Sheila. She, of course, was by Katie Caruso. Yeah, they refer to her as a guild employee, but technically she's a receptionist. But this is different. I've never seen a receptionist place like this before, where it's got like metal bars in front of it. Yes, well, in actuality, it's been a while since I've seen this for a guild receptionist to have for their type of desk. The last series I can think of that featured this feature for a guild receptionist, where their desk is where he will line up to basically accept requests, has been only in one other anime I've seen. Just one. And what anime is that? Konosuba. Yep. Except the adventurers are basically sitting at picnic tables when they eat their food there. Here, there's no tables here. The board is not like a electronic board like some of the more current anime like to do. It's basically paper off the wall that are basically pinned there, and you accept the quest that way. That's standard fare. Basically, every single one, generally except for a few, I generally have this. So, also the uniform is just the outfits they wear are just completely random. Like some anime where it's very uniform and basically the same. So he goes to the library. He's not at a party. So, by the way, also when he first sees him as a skeleton, I've only seen it in like 2 other anime I've seen it in. That being Skeleton in That World, which happened in the very first episode of that show, and Demon Lord Retry, we have a character look at the water and see their appearance. But this is the second time I've seen it where it's actually a skeleton. Because last time was skeleton in the world. The whole thing of look at the water, what the character looks like, at least this time, it's not him being transported in a video game like in the case of the other two. Here, he actually looks like that. And he's from that world. He's not transported into a video game. So, then he goes to the dungeon, and then he just looks around for a while, and then he discovers, oh, there's a secret passage. Where the heck this thing came from, they don't really know. He doesn't know, so he goes through. It's like, okay. But he's curious. That leads to him becoming kind of a dragon. He's turned into a skeleton. So, he can't eat. He can't exactly talk as a skeleton. He has to become like a ghoul in order to talk. So, at the belly, a skeleton, which has no strength, but Trentley gets power with I think it's called remnant magic, I think it is, and spirit magic and mana. So, he battles skeletons, he battles slimes, and after a while, of course, he was picking up basically pieces of the slime to sell when he gets out. He then finally evolves into a ghoul, where he actually has a muscle now. He's more covered now. He's not like a walking skeleton. He can kind of talk. It basically, he had to teach himself how to talk in the ghoul form. Meanwhile, though, there is a rookie adventurer at the town, wanted to try luck in the labyrinth after being recommended the place by the receptionist. Yeah, this, of course, is the brand new adventurer. Her name is Rena. Who's voiced by Abigail Bath. Now, a lot of these voice actors for this one, I'm not overly familiar with them per se. But I do appreciate these people's work. Well, Rit is voiced by Alex Horn. Now, my friend Tivia probably is familiar with this guy, thanks to him voicing a character named Ryunosuke Konami from Blue Lock. Yes, it's a soccer anime, and he actually is a fan of this. He's also Goshin in Apothecary Diaries. He's also been in stuff I've seen. He's been in several different anime. He's been in Skeleton World as Tyrone D. Dito, The Greatest Demon Lord Records to Nobody as Borgin, Parallel Pharmacy. Let's see. The Apothecary Diaries, this one, and that's it. You're like, huh, that's it? Oh yeah, that's it. Which is kind of interesting, per se. Yeah, not many, but, hey, Tivia, basically, check the series out when you get a chance. Basically, you get a chance. Now, we're going to say Kengma. Is he like, let's see. I don't know if he's the main character. I've never seen the show. I'm looking up right now. Oh, okay. Looks like the main character was by Rico Vajaro. Okay, so he's actually the football superhero. He's the third character in the series. He's like the secondary male lead. Apparently his earliest acting role was actually in 2009. And after that, nothing for several years, looks like. Yeah, it looks like, I'm looking at basically his Wikipedia page. It looks like after he did Nazi Book of Friends, he did not do a single anime for 12 years. And then he got back into it, somehow. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Maybe he was busy with stuff. It's possible. Who knows? So, then of course he comes across her while she's still bound on a skeleton. He watches her from far, doesn't interfere. By the way, when he transforms, he apparently is only wearing pants. His boots have disappeared, his shirt has disappeared, so basically So, when she first meet him, basically she's a bit nervous, scared. He's like, I'm not an enemy. It's like, I have a request for you. I want you to take this money to town and buy me some clothes. Because they can't go around looking the way he does, which of course she reluctantly accepts the money. And then he goes and slays more monsters, gets more stronger, gets better talking. And then of course she goes sees the girl receptionist who's happy to see her. And he comes back. She comes back and gets basically the outfit. Now, for the thumbnail I'm using, which is kind of interesting when it comes to this one, it's basically kind of like a cloak he wears. Yes, it's a cloak. He also gets special gloves, some bandages cover his arms and legs up. Also, she gives him a mask, which ends up being stuck to his face because he's scarred. And basically, the thing is, of course, he can't exactly go to the front because a lot of people know him in this town, so they proceed to leave. And then they get to town, they have to go to their gate, and of course they show their IDs. But basically, because the whole thing with the mask, they try to move it, of course, okay, it's stuck, you have to go through the problem. And then she says thank you, and then he proceeds to just disappear when a carriage goes by, that common trope, basically, carriage goes by, people disappear. He's like, I'm sorry, but then and the episode ends with him going to see Lorraine, possibly figure out his condition, and that's the 2 episodes nutshell. Really good. I thoroughly enjoyed these ones. Now I still got 4 animated dudes that I'm probably going to do. I'm thinking I'm really interesting, so I'm probably going to do the first half of the season so far. I'm probably going to do 4 more episodes of this, and then I'm going to go ahead and work on my 4 anime, starting with Don and Don. But it'll happen later, okay? So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to notifications, okay? Bye.